right about to hit take profit, right about to on the smither, and then boom, your trade goes in a whole opposite direction, hits stop loss, and then boom, comes all the way right back down to your take profit. It happens to all of us. It happens to all of us. It happened to me before. It happened to TJR, Justin Riley, ICT, you name it. Happens to all of us. And congratulations, though. You were just used as liquidity. All right, and don't get mad. It happens. It's part of the game. But that's why I'm here to teach you what it is, so you can be the person hunting that liquidity and not the person that just got hunted by the liquidity. All right, so, or hunted as liquidity. Yeah. But so, what is liquidity? I want to make this video kind of quick. I got dinner waiting for me upstairs. I'm going to eat that and then probably pass out on my bed. But yeah, so what is liquidity? So liquidity is where we have these people. Well, we have these people in the market. The market movers, we call them. There's big people, a lot of money. They're like your institutional traders, people in your hedge funds, people who got the big money. All right, so they push price. They just buy a lot or sell a lot to push price in a certain area where then they can fill that massive order in the market with what we call a liquidity sweep, which I'll explain in the part 2 of this. Yes, of course there's a part 2 to this. What? I can't make this all in one part. It's too juicy. Gotta split it up, But yeah, so that's what the market movers do. And liquidity is just where money is sitting, basically. Liquidity is not invisible. It's an actual real thing. It's actual retail traders, their stop losses, and pending orders. Okay? So, now you know what liquidity is. How can we actually identify liquidity technically in the market? And that's what we're about to do right now. So we have 4 different forms of liquidity, at least 4 that I use. We have 1, buy side and sell side liquidity. 2, previous or prominent highs or lows. 3, data highs, data lows. And 4, previous session highs and lows. So let's get into it, okay? All right, so first, buy side and sell side liquidity. So what is buy side and sell side liquidity? It is where we actually have an example right here. I'll mark it online first. I'll explain what this means in a second. Okay. I press Alt plus J if you want to have a little shortcut to place the horizontal ray on TradingView. But, okay. So, as you see, price is tapping at one specific area several times. Or I wouldn't say specific, but relative. It's tapping at one relative area of price multiple times in the market. This creates for what we call buy side liquidity because it's on the buy side of the market, and these relative highs are liquidity. This is where we have traders stop losses being placed. Okay. On the other side of the market, we have vice versa, sell side liquidity. You see price marking or price tapping at a specific or relative point several times, and it creates liquidity for the big dogs to then come and sweep, take out. This is all retail traders stop losses and pending orders, and sweep that and then come higher. All right, we'll get into more about that sweep that and come higher part in the part 2, where we'll get to liquidity sweeps. All right, very interesting. But this is our first form of liquidity, buy side and sell side liquidity. Pretty simple, shouldn't be too hard to comprehend. I'm trying to take it little by little, not too much at once. But let's go into the next form of liquidity, and we have our previous high or prominent and previous prominent lows. Okay. So what are these previous or prominent lows? Can I delete this, please? Hello. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so what are these previous or prominent highs or lows? So you can probably already see, kind of using common sense, what does prominent mean? Prominent means it kind of stands out, right? So we are marking these highs and lows that kind of stand out to us when we're going higher or going lower in trend. Okay? So they're just areas in the market where we made a new previous high or a new previous low. So let's identify some real quick, just so we can lock it down. All right, because I know I can speak at you guys, but if we actually look at the market together, it'll probably help. That's just how I learned personally. Okay. So boom, we see we have an uptrend. So where is our previous highs, previous lows? Boom, we got one right here, pretty prominent low. Another one would be prominent high, prominent low, and prominent high, prominent low right here. Why do we even mark these out? Because they're strong draws on liquidity. Market wants to take these draws on liquidity. Market moves wherever these draws on liquidity are. Okay. So that's pretty much what previous high, previous low is. I know you guys, I don't know if you were expecting a big example, or a big explanation, but that's as simple as it gets. What highs, what lows stand out to us the most. Okay. So next on our list, number 3, for our forms of liquidity, we have what we call data highs and data lows. What the hell are data high with data lows? All right, you probably wondering. So if you have seen in the last video, where the tools video I posted, we use something called Forex Factory. What's on Forex Factory? A lot of news. All right. So we have something called red folder news. Red folder news, it usually just means high impact news. Okay. So sometimes we have PPI and CPI days. These are days where you will have candlesticks that kind of look like this, and you've probably seen it before. It's like probably a regular sized body. Sometimes it's a long body, but we have these big ass wicks too. And overall, just big ass candlestick. It's just a big candlestick, all right. But these are good though, because after we have all that news and that bullshit, we have what we call now prominent highs, or not prominent, data highs and data lows in the market. All right. I don't know why, but they're just a very strong draw on liquidity in the market. Okay, that I noticed. There we go. But yeah, so this is caused by CPI or PPI, or just general news that causes a lot of high volatility that makes a really big candle in the market. Okay, mark that out. You see market probably draw to that, and it will kind of look like this. Come sweep that and come over, just like that. All right, now you guys know what data highs and data lows are. Boom. Lastly, we have previous session highs and lows. All right, so I'm gonna pull out my kill zones indicator. We talked about this in our tools video, I'm pretty sure. It just shows us the sessions. You can use this, or you can just look at the time. For example, like 4 a.m. is the start of London session, and then probably end around like 9 o'clock a.m. Okay, so previous highs, previous lows, or previous session highs and lows. What are they? They're just a previous high and previous low of each session. So for example, this is London session right here. I'm going to mark out that low, mark out London high. So now we want, in our next session, we want to target these as draws or pools of liquidity. Okay, it's just, where does market want to go? These are areas for price to go to and either take out and sweep, or sometimes we don't touch them at all, to be honest. But most of the time, market wants to take that out as a draw liquidity. As we see here, London session, we made a low. In the New York session, we were higher, and then we came out and targeted this low specifically and came a little higher. All right, so now you guys know all the 4 forms of liquidity. Just a little recap real quick. I don't know where it went. Did I delete it? No, did I delete the tab? Oh, it's right here. Okay, so boom. Smart money or market movers push price in areas where they can fill massive orders, as what liquidity is. It also is where money is sitting. Their actual stop losses and pending orders that are just waiting to be triggered. Okay, Next, forms of liquidity. We have our buy side, where we have our relative highs, relative lows. We have our sell side, or buy side is relative highs only, sell side are relative lows. And then next, we have our previous highs, previous lows, or prominent highs, prominent lows, whichever suits you. I like saying previous highs, previous lows, or PHPL. Simple as that. And then data highs, data lows, where we have news, and then we make a high or low from that news, and then we target it. Next, lastly, previous session highs and lows, which we just go to our previous session, mark out highs and lows, and target that. Call it a day. So yeah, that is all for liquidity. I'm going to have a part 2 on liquidity sweeps, and I'm going to make that in just a second. Let's do it. Keep grinding. God loves you, and you have a great day. Have a great night.